It's Krista, Giannak, Wise Words That Matter. And we all want to make a good impression, the best impression we can for our customers and clients. So here are some examples of favorite places, and that's how we'll talk about how they make an impression. So tell me about, what are your favorite places? And if anyone has any issues with the camera, just let me know. I will adjust it accordingly. So let's talk about characteristics of favorite places first. What are those characteristics that make a good impression? So if you've got a favorite place, put it in the comments and tell me about, describe it. If you had to describe it in one word, what would you say? So lots of favorite places might be interesting, fun, intriguing, impressive. Something that, another way to describe a favorite place might be that it's suitable for a particular purpose. So you could have a one-stop shop, say, versus niche offerings offered at a business. So one-stop shops are harder for people to switch to because they just don't have a sense of what's there before they go there and see, and they decide they like the environment, and then they decide to switch. So it's harder to build loyalty that way. But once you've got them, then they'll come to you for more things. Versus a niche offering. So those niche offerings are going to be a lot more powerful when the person is in a particular need. So that's important. And businesses can actually do both for different purposes. So especially if you're online, you can market to a niche group, even if you are more of a one-stop shop. Or you can kind of modify the language that you use to attract certain types of clients. So I'm a copywriter, I'm a PR professional, getting businesses and nonprofits noticed, and I work with experts in their field. So they have a lot of knowledge, a lot to say, and yet they're struggling to connect with their audience, and they come to me for an outsider's perspective. So let's start talking about some favorite places and what gives them, why people get such a good impression from them. So you folks might know, let's start with a fun one. You folks might know every year I go to Pico Mountain in Vermont to go skiing, and I keep going back because of the camaraderie and the confidence building. So they're welcoming people, they're making it fun and safe for beginners to start skiing. And as a blind person, when I'm skiing, I'm developing trust both in myself and in my guides and instructors. And it's all about interdependence for us on the slope, that we have to build that confidence and trust on the slope. And I'd be happy to answer any questions about that if people are curious. So let's talk about some more favorite places. So one favorite place that I like to work is Panera Bread. It's quiet for work, and it's also got a business casual atmosphere that's really good for business meetings and also for fun meetings. I'm involved in a science fiction group, and we meet at a Panera Bread. I've had meetings with book clubs there and all kinds of networking groups, and it's just really very convenient. People tend to know where the Paneras or the Starbucks are. And then there are also local local restaurants if you don't want a chain. So there's a restaurant right in East Northport called the Cafe Portofino, which I really enjoy because it's also has a good atmosphere. So then there's another place in Oyster Bay, which is a little bit of a best kept secret, except for people who live there and people who've been there. It's called the Homestead. And the Homestead is a restaurant/bar. And what makes that restaurant different is that they bring together a lot of talented musicians in one place. And it's really welcoming to the musician community. So you notice how these places get reputations. So Panera gets a business casual, good networking reputation for somewhat healthier food that's faster food, but not fast food. Pico Mountain gets a reputation for being welcoming to beginners. So you notice how there's an impression with all of these different places. The Homestead gets a reputation for the talent and casual fun, open mic every Wednesday. People know about that open mic. They have live events and festivals there, and musicians collaborate there. They have private parties that people have there that are affordable. So notice how all these different offerings that they make an impression on your customers. And that's really what it's about. So tell me about your favorite places and why they're your favorite place. So just as these examples have different kind of, this is all how your branding works. Your branding is all about the different impressions that you give your customers and your clients. You can give these impressions in the way that your staff behave, in the content that you post on your website, your social media, the photos that you have on your pages. And I'm a copywriter, so of course I focus on content and words. So whether I'm looking to create a casual or business-like or educational or creative, I'll change my style to fit these different tones, because writing and content is all about setting the tone for your customers. So you can learn more at my free interactive webinar called Get Noticed Now, and it's all about increasing visibility online and in the media. So because I'm a copywriter and a PR professional, I'll talk to you about how to get noticed with reporters, how to appeal to journalists, how to relate better to your customers, and make sure you're polishing your message in the way that they need to hear it. So that's wisewords.matter.com/webinar, and that's how you'll be able to register for my webinar that's at the end of January. So definitely register for that, and I look forward to chatting with you and seeing you next week at 3 p.m. for another Facebook Live.